Hi, Julie Jones from SSB Performance, Smarter, Stronger, Better Mindset Training here with this week's Mindset Made Simple Tip of the Week, brought to you by Game Day Sportswear. Showing off my ugly Christmas sweater. Actually, it's an ugly Christmas sweatsuit, velour, Santa baby on the back, lots of bling in my throwback to Run DMC Christmas, but I need to take these off in order to be able to finish this tip. But this week we're talking about the holidays, but more than anything, we're talking about, do you see what I see? The power of visualization, the power of our mind's eye. I had a great 2022, and I hope you did as well. And I got to finish it off last Friday, talking with Oswald Companies and their sales team. What an amazing group of people, high achievers, most of them college athletes. And I asked them a question. I said, have you used visualization as a competitor? And a few of them raised their hands. And then I said, we all visualize. We are constantly seeing things in our mind. In fact, as I've said many times before, our well-being is so influenced by the words we use and the pictures we see, and the words we use turn into the pictures that we see. Think about all the things that you have visualized yourself doing in the future, things you watch yourself do again from the past. Think about when you were a kid and you used to think about throwing that touchdown pass to Lynn Swann when he played for the Steelers and they were awesome. Not quite this year. Or when you're driving down the street and you're belting out that song and you picture yourself up on stage with your favorite artist, or maybe you just move that artist off stage and it's just you up on stage and there you are performing, picturing this in your mind. But we all see ourselves. Our mind's eye is crystal clear. And it's really important that we are picturing the right things in our mind. As we get to the holidays, I picture Christmases past, and I'm sure you do too. I can picture it with vivid detail. My Grandma Fout's house, when we used to go, all of us there on Christmas Eve, and there would be presents for all 12 of us. She had 12 grandchildren sitting there, and we would have these cookies. They made oatmeal cookies that had sprinkles on them. They were delicious. Haven't been able to repeat them since. But you can picture that, and I picture at my other grandparents' house, I would picture the savings bonds up on the tree. And then it makes me think, where are those savings bonds? And I try to picture where they are in my house, in my safe, wherever they might be. But we are always picturing things. I picture good things at the holidays. I picture things that make me sad at the holidays too. We can pull up images, and those images make us feel a certain way. I picture my mom serving us her last Christmas meal that she ever served us, and it was the most horrible lasagna you have ever had in your life. In fact, it was hysterical. It is hysterical in some ways that she was never able to redeem herself from that. Oh, it was bad. Or I picture my mom and it makes me sad. I don't know, it depends. But we get to choose what we're looking at. I really started to think about this when I went out to my dad's the other day and I took him our Christmas card, saved myself 60 cents. And there's a picture of it of our son and our dog Roscoe, who's a 1.5-year-old pug. And my dad just smiled and he says, oh, this is awesome. He said, you know, when I'm sitting here sometimes, I just pull up an image of that cute little face and it makes me so happy. My dad sitting in his chair, thinking about my son's face, picturing it in his head, lights up his world. What are you doing with the images that you see this Christmas or Hanukkah? Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas to everyone. But what are you seeing? We've talked about the power of visualization in our skills. And if you go to my blog at SSB Performance /blog, you can click on a link about a Harvard study that talks about a neuroscientist who had people practice a 5-finger piano pass for 2 hours every day for 5 days. And then he had another group imagine it. And what he found after the exercise was done was that the motor cortex, the part of the brain that is in charge of the muscles moving, it expanded in both groups. Visualization changes our brain. Whether it's thinking about what we want to do and our brain sending signals to those muscles. And last week I offered you the opportunity to send me your address. I'll send you a amazing exercise that will prove to you that this is the case and that our thoughts turn into things, that our brain is so amazing. So send me your address if you want a picture of that, or if you want a copy of that exercise. It's a physical thing I need to send you. So whether we're working on a piano, a couple measures of music, or my dad is sitting in his chair and picturing Jensen, we're changing our brain. We're changing the chemicals in our brain. We're changing the pathways in our brain. We're changing the signals that are sent to our muscles that then know how to repeat that, even though we're not doing it physically. It's unbelievable, this powerful tool. Why don't we use it? Well, we don't use it because we think we need to take a whole lot of time to use it. It makes us make a choice on what our thought is at that time. Maybe we're too busy. But the truth of it is we always have this tool on board. We can always choose an image that changes the chemicals in our brain for good, but we spend a lot of time picturing the life we don't want to have. So my challenge to you over this next holiday little break, if you get one, is to think about the images that you allow in your brain. You only get one thought at a time. You only get one image at a time. So what are we going to allow to take up that precious space? Am I going to think of my mom smiling at Christmas and decorating our tree, even though she was really nitpicky about it? Or am I going to picture the fact that the loss that I have there? Which one is going to make me better for the rest of the day? I get to choose. That's the cool part. I challenge you then to choose the images that make you better either skill-wise or well-being-wise. And I challenge you to use this tool as often as possible when you're waiting in line, when you're sitting in traffic, before you go to bed. Pull up something. It's always a great time to watch ourselves be awesome. It's always a great time to see something that makes us smile. We know that positive emotion is one of the biggest predictors of peak performance. This tool is on board 24/7. Your mind is amazing. And you get to decide what images it is seeing. That's the cool part of it. So this holiday season, I get to choose. And so do you. So the question is, do you see what I see? You're not going to see what I see. But I want you to see the best. And I wish you a happy Hanukkah and a very, very Merry Christmas. Until next week, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, and see the good stuff.